That Benjamin Franklin can sure stretch. Or can he? All right, let's talk about money. We all use it. We all want more of it. But have you ever stopped to think about what it's really worth? I mean, a dollar is a dollar, right? Or is it? Today we're going to take a little trip, a trip back in time, 200 years to be exact, to the year 1825. We're going to look at what a cool 1,000 bucks could get you then. And then we'll zip right back here to 2025 and see what that same 1,000 bucks buys today. Spoiler alert, it ain't pretty. You see that crisp $100 bill with Ben Franklin's face on it? Back in 1825, old Ben represented some serious purchasing power. 1,000 of those dollars? Man, you were talking. You could change your life with that kind of money. Build something real, something that lasted. It wasn't just cash, it was a ticket to a whole new future. Imagine holding that much power in your hands. Let's get to it. So picture this. It's 1825. America is young, it's growing. The cities are small. Most folks are farmers or they're making things by hand. Life is tough, no doubt about it. You worked hard from sunup to sundown. There were no fancy machines doing the heavy lifting for you. Your own two hands, a strong back, and a bit of luck. That's what you relied on. And money? Money was scarce. Really scarce. A skilled worker, maybe a blacksmith or a carpenter, might earn $1 a day. An unskilled laborer? Less than that. Maybe 50 cents if they were lucky. Now imagine you've got $1,000 in your pocket in that world. That's not just a nice sum, that's a game changer. It's like winning a small lottery today, maybe even bigger in terms of impact. $1,000 back then could represent 2, 3, even 4 years of wages for an average guy. Think about that. Years of sweat and toil, all there in a stack of bills. It meant you weren't just getting by anymore. You had options, you had power. You could make serious moves. This wasn't just walking around money, this was foundation-laying money. The economy in 1825 wasn't like our complex global market today. It was simpler, more direct. Prices were low, but so were wages. $1,000 in cash? That was a king's ransom to many. Let's talk about land. The American dream, right? Owning a piece of it. Back in 1825, that dream was a lot more attainable with $1,000. The government was selling off vast tracts of land to encourage settlement. You could often buy public land for about $1.25 an acre. Think about that. For your $1,000, you could get 800 acres. 800 acres. That's not a backyard, that's a small kingdom. You could farm it, raise livestock, build a home, and still have room to spare. It was an opportunity to be self-sufficient, to build a legacy. Now maybe you didn't want to be out in the wilderness. Perhaps you wanted to live closer to a town or even in one. Even then, $1,000 went a long, long way for housing. You could buy a decent plot of land and build a solid house. Not a mansion, mind you, but a good, sturdy home for your family. Or you could buy an existing house in many areas for a few $100s. Imagine paying off your house, free and clear, with less than half of your $1,000. That left plenty of money for other important things. So with $1,000, you weren't just renting a place for a few months. You were buying outright ownership, security, a place to call your own. This wasn't some flimsy shack either. It was a solid investment in your future, a place where you could raise your children, grow old, and pass down to the next generation. It was more than just land and a roof. It was a foundation for community and connection, a place where dreams were built and futures were forged. Tools of the trade wagons, mules, and making a living in 1825. Okay, so you've got your land, maybe a basic house. But that's just the beginning. What next? You needed to work that land or start a business. You needed tools. Tools were essential for survival and prosperity. And in 1825, $1,000 could equip you very well indeed. Let's talk transportation. It was a key part of making a living. No pickup trucks back then. You needed a wagon. Wagons were the lifeline for many families. A good sturdy farm wagon might cost you around $50 to $100. It was a significant investment, but crucial. You'd need animals to pull it. The choice of animals could affect your efficiency, a team of oxen or a couple of horses. Each had its advantages and disadvantages. A good horse could be $50 to $100. Horses were faster but required more care. A mule, maybe a bit less. Mules were hardy and could handle rough terrain better. So for a few $100s, you're mobile. Mobility was key to expanding your opportunities. You can haul goods, travel, work your farm. Your wagon was your workhorse. What about starting a small business? Diversifying your income was a smart move, say a blacksmith shop or a general store. These were common and essential businesses. Your $1,000 was a hefty sum for this. It gave you a solid foundation. You could buy your tools, anvils, hammers, bellows for a smithy. These were the backbone of your trade. Or stock your shelves with goods, cloth, sugar, salt, tools, maybe some whiskey. These were high-demand items. A basic inventory to get a small store off the ground might run a few $100s. It was a manageable investment. You could afford to rent a small shop space or even build one. Location was key to your success. That $1,000 gave you the capital to become an entrepreneur, a job creator. It was a ticket to independence. It was enough to get you started and keep you going for a while. Sustainability was crucial. Think about supplies for your farm or household. These were crucial. Every item had its purpose. A plow might cost $10 to $15. It was essential for preparing your land. Axes, saws, shovels, a few dollars each. These tools were indispensable for daily tasks. Seeds for planting your 800 acres? Relatively inexpensive. They were the start of your harvest and future. Fast forward to 2025, the incredible shrinking dollar. All right, seatbelts on. We've landed in 2025. It's today, folks. Welcome to the future. The world is a very different place. It's a blend of the familiar and the futuristic. We've got the internet, space travel, and miracle medicines. Technology has advanced in leaps and bounds. But what about our old friend, the dollar? Specifically, 1,000 of them. How have they fared? Well, let me tell you, that $1,000 bill has seen better days. It's been through a lot. It's been through a ringer called inflation, 2 centuries of it, a relentless force. Think of it like this. $1 in 1825 had the buying power of roughly $30 or more today. Quite a difference, right? So that $1,000 from back then, that's like having $30,000 or more in 2025. Imagine that. That starts to paint a picture, doesn't it? Our modern economy is incredibly complex and ever-evolving. Global supply chains, digital currencies, massive corporations. The landscape has changed dramatically. Prices for everyday things seem to only go one way, up. It's a constant climb. Housing, education, healthcare, they all take a much bigger bite out of our wallets. The costs are staggering. Wages have gone up too, of course. People are earning more than ever before. Nobody's earning $1 a day anymore. Those days are long gone. But the question is, have they kept pace with the rising cost of, well, everything? It's a tough balance. For many folks, it feels like they're running faster just to stay in the same place. It's a constant race. That $1,000, which was once a fortune, now feels more like pocket money for some. It's a stark contrast. Or maybe just enough to cover one unexpected emergency. A sudden expense can be overwhelming. The value of money isn't just about the number printed on the bill, it's deeper than that. It's about what it can actually get you. What goods, what services, the true measure of its worth. $1,000 in your pocket, today rent, rides, and ramen. So you've got $1,000 in your hand. It's 2025. What can you do with it? Let's start with housing, just like we did for 1825. Can you buy 800 acres? Not a chance. Can you buy 1 acre? Unlikely in most places. Can you buy a house? Absolutely not. Not even a down payment in many cities. In a lot of urban areas, $1,000 might cover your rent for 1 month. If you're lucky, or maybe it's half your rent, or a security deposit. It's a far cry from owning property outright, isn't it? That dream of a kingdom for $1,000? Today, it's more like a temporary roof. What about transportation? Back in 1825, $1,000 could get you a wagon and team. Today, $1,000 might get you a couple of car payments, or perhaps a down payment on a very used car if you find a deal. A new car? Forget it. The average new car price is tens of thousands of dollars. Maybe you could buy a decent e-bike. That's something. But it's not quite the same as owning your own hauling capacity like that 1825 wagon. The cost of just getting around has skyrocketed. Insurance, gas, maintenance, it all adds up. That $1,000 disappears pretty quick when it comes to modern wheels. Conclusion. More bucks, less bang, the hard truth about our dough. So there you have it. A tale of 2 centuries and 2 very different dollars. In 1825, $1,000 was a key to land, to a home, to a business. It was a substantial sum, capable of laying a foundation for a new life. It represented years of labor for the average person. It commanded respect. It bought you tangible assets, things you could see and touch and build upon. You could become a landowner, a business owner, truly independent. That was the power of a grand back then. Real, life-altering power. Fast forward to 2025. That same $1,000, it's a different story. It's not a key to a kingdom anymore. It's more like a band-aid. It might cover a month's rent, a few car payments, or a decent grocery haul. It can help, no doubt, but it doesn't transform your circumstances in the same way. The bang for your buck has shrunk, dramatically. This isn't some conspiracy, it's the result of long-term inflation. And it's a result of a changing economy, with different costs and different priorities.